Commander, we have arrived at Jump Station. Mechs deployed, Commander. Welcome back. This is part 2. The invasion. Let us begin with the periphery action. At the insistence of the other clans, Ilkhan Showers declared the periphery open territory, allowing any clan to attack any world. In truth, though there was very little worth attacking, with mostly periphery worlds being sparsely populated, if at all, few, if any, could put up any sort of military challenge. Many worlds were defended by errants, solitary mech or aerospace fighter pilots who, regardless of their actual skill, typically had only dilapidated machines with which to fight. Most such fights served to confirm the clan's preconceptions that the conquest of the Inner Sphere would be a cakewalk. As the clans moved closer to the Inner Sphere, there appeared some exceptions to this trend. Clan Wolf in particular was running into more organized opposition, and most importantly against Inner Sphere mercenaries. These opponents put up stiffer resistance and provided valuable information on Inner Sphere martial technology and tactics. Clan Wolf offered to share this information with its fellow clans, but most scoffed at the idea that the Inner Sphere being anything more than a bunch of pushovers and ignored their advice. Perhaps the most important development to come from the war in the periphery was the capture of a young Phelan Kell, a mercenary of the famous Kell Hounds, in August of 3049. Though the relevance of this would not be felt for some time. And if you want to know, Clan Wolf captured him, made him a bondsman, and he has a story of his own developing from there. Back to the story now. By January 3050, all the periphery targets had been taken. Debriefings and resupply took place, as did communication between the clans and Comstar. Though the clans had been quick to jam all communications and destroy all ships attempting to escape conquered worlds, Comstar was able to learn of their existence through ROM emergency transmissions. After much debate within the First Circuit, Primus Milos Waterley sent exploration teams to attempt to contact the invaders. As it was, the clans had much respect for Comstar, a living legacy of the old Star League, committed to its eventual restoration, and hoped the organization could help them in their purpose. Comstar, for its part, also believed the clans could help them in their purpose, and sent Presenter Marshal Anastasius Falk to conduct formal negotiations with the clans. Eventually, terms were finalized. They would be as such. Comstar would suppress all communications coming or going to the worlds targeted by the clans, and in certain instances, pass along military information for them, in exchange for the clans not meddling in Comstar affairs and allowing to administrate worlds conquered by them. Some in the First Circuit, as well as Funk himself, were uneasy with these terms, but Primus Waterley agreed to them, cementing an alliance between the two groups. So now the first wave truly began. On the 7th of March 3050, the first wave of the Inner Sphere invasion began. By the end of the month, all 4 invading clans had already conquered multiple worlds within the Compine Republic and the Federated Commonwealth. Never expecting to attack of such magnitude to come from the periphery, the Inner Sphere was caught completely off guard. Thanks to the clan's superiority in technology, they were almost always able to avoid electronic detection and enter into orbit above a planet without warning. Often, the first offenders knew they were under attack was when the clan's forces issued their batchal. In the battle, the clan's superior martial skills and technology were unparalleled, and even veteran units able to mount a resistance were set aside with surprising little effort. As each world fell, panic and rumor spread among the populace, including the idea that the clans were alien invaders. Though victorious in their conquest, the clans were also experiencing difficulties of their own. Some of the Inner Sphere commanders were able to catch on to the clan's strange adherence to Zilbregan and exploited it. if only to preserve more of their forces in the face of the onslaught. On Trail 1, the Jade Falcons failed to capture the heir of the fated Commonwealth, Victor Steiner Davian, who managed to escape despite attempting to stay and fight with his men. On Turtle Bay, the Smoke Jaguars had succeeded in capturing Horio Kurita, I'm going to butcher that first name, heir to the Chrysanthemum throne. They just didn't realize it. Once the truth was discovered, Horio had already escaped thanks to the local Yakuza. Enraged, the Smoke Jaguars commander had the capital city of Endo wiped out via orbital bombardment. The sheer barbarity of this action shocked even the most hard-line crusaders, and when Clan Wolf announced it would bid away all of its naval assets for future battles, Honor forced the other clans to accept the same condition. The first wave came to an end in April, with 35 worlds under the thumb of the clan invaders. Many clan warriors felt a sense of euphoria, finally stepping foot on worlds not seen in generations, though some were less than reverential to the people living on those worlds. In fact, many people on the conquered worlds had the temerity to keep resisting clan application after the battle had been declared won. A few officers noted this, along with their surprisingly depleted supply stores, but such concerns were not shared by those in command. When it came time for the command staffs to debrief each other on what had transpired, both Jade Falcon and Smoke Jaguar claims submitted widely inflated reports of their successes to the Yo clan, while Ghost Bears and Wolves were more truthful. A trend that would continue, by the way. The second wave of the invasion began in May. By this point, the governments of both the FedCom Alliance and the Draconis Combined had recovered somewhat from their earlier shock and began to mobilize a response, moving fresh supplies and units into the expected paths of invaders. Recognizing the dangers these invaders posed for both of them, the two governments also agreed to a level of cooperation unheard of since the start of the succession wars. The Draconis Combined made the first shocking move, pulling its elite units on the FedCom border and deploying them to face the clans, followed by similar FedCom movements. Unfortunately for the Free Russia League Republic, was hamstrung by internal division between its elected prince Hakan Magnusson and Obergrafenführer Christian Mansator. The latter wanted to redeploy the Kung's army to form a defensive perimeter around Russia League and seek help from the Combine and FedCom, while Prince Magnusson wanted all units to remain in place and refused to ask for outside assistance. Unable to come to terms, the two took their arrangements to Parliament, where precious weeks were wasted in debate. In the end, units stationed on Russia League Province were ordered to stand their ground, while those in Rastatt and Sakita provinces would reinforce the capital. Clan Ghost Bear and Smoke Jaguar faced significant difficulties during the second wave, having underestimated the level of supplies needed and the Innersphere's willingness to resist occupation. Few worlds were targeted, and frontline units, which could have been in the vanguard, were forced to put down rebellions popping up in their rear. Aiding by the Republic's infighting, Clan Wolf faced little significant resistance during its second wave, while Jade Falcons were helped by the FedCom's leadership decision to hold back direct reinforcements of targeted worlds until more information could be gathered. By the end of June, another 27 worlds were now under clan control. The third wave of the invasion will represent the beginning of dramatic change in the fortunes of the invading clans. Prior to its start, Ulrich Krasinski unveiled a revised plan of attack, amounting to nearly doubling of the number of worlds originally targeted. The Wolf Clan's intent was clear. If it was forced to participate in invasion, then it was very well going to win it, and the other clans, beset with logistical problems and rebellious populaces, were both dismissive of the wolves' seemingly overreach and worried its failure could jeopardize the invasion. Thanks through planning, the wolves' attacks met stunning success when the third wave began in June, and it was well poised to begin the invasion of Russia itself. However, the capital planet laid along the border between Wolf and Ghost Bear corridors, allowing the Ilkhan to conspire with the Ghost Bear Khans to contest the right to invade it. much to the chagrin of Clan Wolf. Internal strife within the Ghost Bear leadership delayed the bidding until the 4th of July, where it took place aboard the Dire Wolf between Ulrich Krasinski and Bjorn Jorgensen. When the bidding was over, Krasinski had won, but only by agreeing to invade Roshalik with just 3 clusters, a force many times smaller than the defending Kriegsmarine units. The Wolfcan had an ace up his sleeve. After being taken as bondsman many months ago, Kalen Fell had risen up to become something of an advisor to Krasinski. Using his knowledge of the planet and its defenders, Kel was able to help plan an attack which would exploit their weaknesses and achieve victory while hopefully lessening the collateral damage. The result Battle of Roshalik was a great success for Clan Wolf, capturing the capital of the Republic and forcing the elected prince to flee into the void. The third wave ended in July, with Clan Wolf capturing all 11 of its targeted worlds, nearly half of the 25 lost in total to the clans. The fourth wave was one of momentous change for the invading clans and the Inner Sphere. Clan Wolf continued to surprise its rivals by launching its fourth wave early and targeting even more worlds than before. Clan Showers attempted to slow the wolves, such as trying to deny them the use of PGCs, but was stymied in its efforts. The Clan could not simply force their progress to halt just because they were succeeding while the others failed. By the time of their fourth wave attacks in October, the wolves have captured another 16 planets. Clan Ghost Bear, after extending their refit time to better reorganize their forces, did not launch their attacks until late August, but will succeed in capturing 8 worlds, exceeding the poor performance of the last 2 waves. For the Jade Falcons and Smoke Jaggers, the fourth wave proved to be a disastrous as the Inner Sphere finally succeeded in defeating clans in battle. In the Battle of Tricross, Fedcom forces launched a counterattack to retake the planet, thinking it was only lightly held by garrison forces. They were surprised to find the Falcon Guards crack frontline troops defending it. Nevertheless, the Fedcom attackers were victorious, and the Falcon Guards wiped out thanks to the bravery of Kai Allard Liao. In the Battle of Walcott, the attacking Smoke Jaggers fell for Theodore Kurita's deceptions and were outmaneuvered by the elite Janichua regiments. The victory netted the Draconis Combine valuable samples of clan technology and a guarantee that Walcott will not be attacked again by the Smoke Jaggers, allowing to serve as base of resistance within their occupation zone. Clan Leo Sowers was furious at the failure of his clan and wild success enjoyed by the wolves. Determined to salvage the situation, he ordered for the Grand Kulatai to take place aboard the Dire Wolf on November 1st. Ulrich Krasinski agreed to attend, so long as none of the other clans arrived in ships larger than Dire Wolf, and that the meeting take place in the newly conquered system of Rostad. However, when the Dire Wolf arrived in the system on the 31st October, it was surprised by the sudden appearance of a small Roshaligan fleet. Elected Prince Magnuson had also fled to Rostad after the fall of Roshali, and his ship desperately made its escape. As the ship made its desperate escape, the Flying Dracoons made a suicidal attack against the Dire Wolf. One of the last surviving pilots, Tyra Merborg, succeeded in ramming the flagship's bridge where Leo Showers and Ulrich Krasinski were located. Phelan Kell, assisted by Anastasia Spock, were able to save the Wolfcon before the bridge suffered total decompression, but not the Ilkan. This single act of bravery, or in her death throes, Tyra Merborg, changed the course of the invasion. And with that, part 2 is over.